Donald Trump's press secretary Karoline Leavitt just stormed out of a White House press briefing after getting caught in lie after humiliating lie. White House Barbie ultimately fled the scene after being cornered about her spin on the current government shutdown.
Our position is that it's completely unacceptable that the Biden administration paroled and encouraged an invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country and then promised them free health care.
Which is not only not true, but I'd argue believing it is a litmus test for needing a lobotomy. And the irony of Trump being the one to blame Democrats for taking away people's health care was made pretty clear to Miss My Feelings Can't Handle Facts today, as we'll see. So smash that like button and subscribe to help us at Really Americans stop the flow of misinformation. And without further ado, let's jump into Karoline Leavitt's most viral lie that immediately blew up in her face from this press briefing.
Just last night, we saw an extremely troubling incident where conservative journalist Nick Sorter was captured on video being taken into custody by the Portland police after he was ambushed by Antifa and was defending himself from these assaults. But instead of arresting these violent mob members night after night after night, who are ravaging this community, the police arrested a journalist who was there trying to document the chaos, and everyone in this room should be extremely concerned about that. The Department of Justice spoke with that journalist this morning, and they will be launching a full investigation into his arrest. This incident is part of a troubling trend in Portland where left-wing mobs believe they get to decide who can visit and live in their city. It is not their city. It is the American people's city, and President Trump is going to restore that. I just spoke with the president about this, and he has directed his team here at the White House to begin reviewing aid that can potentially be cut in Portland.
Right. So just to recap, Trump is going to cut aid to Portland because left-wing mobs attacked a right-wing journalist, and then the Portland police arrested the right-wing journalist. It makes as much sense as when Big Balls got beat up by a teenage girl and then Trump had to send the National Guard to DC. Like, any non-Fox News watching glue sniffer can tell how insane that all is. But it gets even more embarrassing when you see what actually happened and the incident that led to Nick Sorter's arrest. First, you have here video footage of the Portland police on bicycles arresting Nick Sorter. MAGA blogger Nick Sorter was arrested last night in Portland after apparently fighting with imaginary Antifa, in other words, protesters who disagreed with him. He was charged with disorderly conduct and was released. Now, first I want you to watch the incident that led to him getting arrested and then see how he reacted to it. This is Nick right here.
This is America. This is America. This is America.
Hey, you saw him.
This is America. This is America.
You all push back. Tell whatever fucking narrative you want. All of you have eyes.
This is America. This is why we need to get rid of illegals, because they don't know American laws, bro.
You know what? I'm not even illegal, bitch.
Yeah, that same guy who just got national press coverage from Karoline Leavitt and apparently is being talked about to Trump. This is what the clown Nick Sorter does. Investigates violence by putting hands on people and then running away like the little pussy bitch that he is, all while his tub of goo buddy yells, "This is America." Yeah, it's called, quote, assault in America, you dumb fuck. Someone else saying, MAGA, Portland is a lawless city with violent Antifa running rampant. Also MAGA, assaults a woman and then cries about it. And cry about it he did, because here is that little bitch on Fox News.
So they threw multiple punches at me. They broke my camera by hitting that. So I was on the ground at that point. I tried to swing, I missed. I saw the opportunity to get up and get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs. This is going to backfire on them tremendously. It already is, okay? People knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt and that the police they take the side of the violent criminals that are here every single day, assaulting ICE officers, assaulting journalists. And then a reporter comes and, tries to embed deep within the chaos that's going in out here, and he's the one that gets arrested?
Okay, Neckbeard Nick. So there's violent criminals that we clearly saw weren't violent, and you're so anti-Antifa, pro-Donald Trump, back the military coup and the blue, and yet when you and 3 other people get arrested for being violent, It's somehow the Portland police and the violent criminals that we just saw were in violence fault? And it is almost as insane to me that this is getting national attention and brought up to the president, whose press secretary is going out there and saying they will take action because of this incident. Obviously, Donald Trump's not going out there and saying that because he has mysteriously disappeared, which we just talked about in a recent video. But even that is only the half of it, because what Karoline Leavitt is saying throughout this press conference just continues to get more insane. Here's the question that made her ultimately run out of the press conference.
Is it the administration's position that hospitals should not have to treat people who come into the emergency department who are not here legally?
No, that's not our position. Our position is that it's completely unacceptable that the Biden administration paroled and encouraged an invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country and then promised them free health care. Democrats are on the record repeatedly stating that they believe illegal aliens should have health care benefits, free health care benefits in the United States of America. So that is a recipe for a disaster. Of course you're going to encourage a mass illegal invasion of our country, which is exactly what happened. And we've seen the unfortunate consequence of that, where American patients are being put last, where American patients are having to wait in wait rooms, where grandmothers and grandfathers are waiting hours and hours for care because they're being put behind the line to illegal aliens. And we don't agree with that. We don't support that. That's why the administration is desperately trying to fix it and deport the tens of millions of illegal aliens that the Democrats and the Biden administration allowed into our country. And we'd love to continue doing that work so long as the federal government is reopened. And there are many federal law enforcement agents and officers right now who are working without pay. That's unacceptable. The Democrats need to reopen the United States government, and we hope that they will do the right thing on the Senate floor in just a few moments. Thank you, everyone.
And Leavitt can run away from it all as much as she wants, but the fact of the matter is none of that was fucking true.
America, they're lying to you, and the proof is in that one yellow cup. That's right, Fox. Propaganda, Mike Johnson, the entire right-wing propaganda machine shut down the government over this one plastic cup. Not a program, not a national crisis, a cup. Because when you can't lead, you distract. This entire pyramid right here on the bottom is the entire Medicaid budget. And the yellow cup at the bottom is the only time, potentially, that an undocumented immigrant may get health care or care. And it's in an emergency. It's the mathematical equivalent of 0.004 of the budget. But now let's take a look at the top pyramid. That shows you the $100 billion paid in by undocumented immigrants annually. Props up Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and so on. Benefits that they will never use because they don't qualify for.
And meanwhile, while they're bitching and lying about that, this is what's happening to young Democratic congressional candidates protesting ICE.
Even though I'm a young Palestinian woman, I have a lot of privilege. I look like this, and that means that people are a lot more outraged when I get picked up and thrown to the ground than when people I can't see being brutalized within the walls of the Broadview Processing Center. That was actually the third time that an ICE agent has thrown me to the ground. The bruise on my ass is finally healing. But before that video, ICE had abducted a protester and said they would release the protester and then didn't. They put them into a van, and so about 50 of us were arm in arm demanding that person was released, and they tried to drive the van through us before tear gassing the crowd. If they are willing to do this to a congressional candidate on camera, what are they willing to do behind boarded up windows? The reason we're out there protesting in the first place is because the Broadview Processing Center, which is where ICE headquarters its operations in the Chicago area, is committing crimes against humanity. It is a processing center, so people are not supposed to be held there for more than 12 hours at a time. They are being held for days or weeks at a time, without beds, without hot meals, without access to hygienic facilities. One morning, I watched them march detainees into a van in the same clothes they were detained in, and we have no idea how long they were there. And ICE's response to peaceful protesters exercising their First Amendment rights is violence.
And it just keeps getting more insane until she ultimately decides to run away when she's asked about the healthcare and confronted with the fact that it is not a problem, that illegals are not receiving healthcare and Democrats do not want that, nor did they shut down the government. The fact that this was even an actual exchange in a White House press briefing makes me want to pull my eyes out of their sockets.
And you just said this is an unenviable choice, that this is an unfortunate consequence, but the president has described this as an unprecedented opportunity. to lay off additional workers. He's posted a video likening Russ Vought to the Grim Reaper. So which is this? Is this an opportunity to fire more workers or an unfortunate consequence?
Look, the president likes to have a little fun every now and then, and I think both things can be true at the same time. The Democrats have given the administration this opportunity, and we don't like laying people off. Nobody takes joy in that around here, and if you think that, then I think that's very sad. You view the White House and our staff as wanting to put people out of work. Nobody wants to do.
Bitch, what? Shut up. Miss me with the bullshit. Or you guys are the Doge people. You guys are the chainsaw to bureaucracy people. Donald Trump's entire MO before he was president was "you're fired." The Apprentice. How the fuck is anyone supposed to sit here and listen to this dumbass spew this nonsense and think she's telling a lick of truth? That's fucking insane. Now more than ever, we need to continue to get mad and get vocal. So drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment on this video so it gets out to more people, because unless we continue to hold this administration accountable, they will just continue to run away and hide like Leavitt and Trump are doing now. Thanks for watching. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.